Hello everyone, this is Professor J. Kim. Have you wondered how to overlay the logo animation you have created in Adobe Animate onto existing video footage? Here's what we're going to do today. So as you can see, this is the logo animation I created in Adobe Animate. And I'm going to overlay this on the existing video footage like this. So it looks pretty cool. So it is basically I'm using the green screen effect. So we're gonna see it. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the like button, and set the alarm for my latest video. Then let's get started. Okay, first we're gonna create a new Adobe Animate file. So I'm gonna create a new file, and the size is going to be the basic HD quality video file. So 1280 pixel by 720 pixels, 30 frame rate, and HTML5 canvas created. So this is a new file. Let me double click my hand tool so I can fit to screen. And then please download the image from the link down below, and then you will find that one kind of the symbol, the wing symbol image, Adobe Illustrator file like this. So once you open it, select everything and copy. I'm going to paste that onto my new animate file here. So under edit menu, paste in center. It will ask you this. Please check the second radio button, paste using AI file importer. Okay, so we have this. And there are the 4 different parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. So select the top 2 lines first and group them under modify and group. And select the bottom 2 wings, modify, group. Select everything, then go to modify, timeline, distribute to layers. So we can have 2 separate layers. One bottom layer for the lines and another layer for the wings. Okay, so it looks good. Now before we animate it, we're going to have a layout first using the text tool. So add a new layer on top. I'm going to type the word aviation, aviation. And then, yeah, that's the typeface. I'm going to type size about 80 point. Aviation, somewhere there. Okay, and I'm going to type another word. Academy, but this time different typeface. Let me use one of my favorite, Bebas Nue, which is this. Okay, so it looks good. And also let me add another layer on top. This layer will have the ear, the number. So I'm gonna type Option Shift hyphen for the longer dash since 1942. Option Shift hyphen. And then on the typeface and the type size, I'm gonna change it. Let me choose the Georgia bold. Something classical, and then smaller. It looks good. Let me select all these 3, Aviation, Academy, and 1942, alignment, and let me center. Okay, so it looks okay. All right, then before we animate it, what we're going to do is I'm going to select the aviation, the text. Hold down the Shift key, Academy. So layer number 4. Then modify, break apart. And then modify, timeline, distribute to layers. So we have the individual layer for each letter. Aviation Academy. And the top layer, I'm going to rename it as ear. Okay, so my layout is done. I have wings, lines, and then on the text, Aviation Academy since 1942. So first, I'm going to animate the bottom 2 layers first. So on 1 second mark, highlight the frame number 30 on the bottom layer, hold down the Shift key, click frame number 30 on the second layer and insert the keyframe. Okay, now select the both layers. Hold down the shift, click on the layer, so you will see that all blue highlighted the segment. Then hold down the control key or right click and choose the create classic twin. Okay, so it looks good. Now, in order to control the speed a little bit, I'm going to highlight the first two keyframes, these two keyframes. And in your properties panel, let me change the ease option to 100. Okay, now, bottom layer, these two lines. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to choose, open my transform panel. Let me make it very small, like a 20%. And then also, let me change the alpha value down to 0. So it's going to be fading in like that. Okay, now, the second layer, which is the wings, highlight it. And then open the transform panel. I'm going to make it, I don't know, maybe 300% bigger. And then the alpha value down to 0. So what's going to happen is, that's pretty cool. So once my two lines and the two wings are settled, I want to start my type animate, text animation. So let me highlight all first keyframes of all the text except the ear. See? And then let me move it to 1 second mark. That's where we're going to start the text animation. Okay. And then before we do that, I'm going to break apart again. Modify, break apart. So now these texts are not text anymore. These are just the graphics. So we can change the alpha value and the more things. Then highlight the frame number 40 on the last letter. Hold down the shift key. Click on the bottom layer. The first letter. See, all blue, and insert the keyframe. Now select all layers of these letters. Then hold down the control key or the right click somewhere, any layer, any frame in between, and click create classic twin. Okay, now it's ready to animate it. And then I want to control the speed a little bit. So I'm highlighting the first keyframe of my first letter, hold down the shift key, and then I click on the first keyframe of the last letter. See the all blue. Then in your properties panel, the effect option and the ease option, I'm going to apply the -100. We'll see the difference. Okay, now we're getting in there already. So first thing is, let me highlight all first keyframes, all of them. So from here, hold down the shift key, click on the top. You see all the kind of blue outline things, so meaning your first keyframes are selected. And then open your transform panel. I'm going to make it, I don't know, maybe 300% bigger. Looks good. And the alpha value down to 0. So what happens is, this happens. So once wings and then the lines, and this happens. But I want to give some more kind of a dynamics. So what I'm going to do is, from the A, I'm going to give some kind of little time delay in between the individual letter form. So select the letter V, second letter, and move it to the right 5 more frames, like that. And I, 5 more. Next letter, 5 more. So select the layer and grab the whole thing, keep pressing and drag it. Just like that. Next letter, aviation. Next letter, and next letter. So aviation is done. Watch this. Isn't it cool? Like that. And then academy. I want to have them kind of in opposite order. So from the very last letter, letter Y. I'm going to leave it as it is. And then next letter M, 5 more frames, and the E, 5 more to the right. Next letter, 5 more, and the next letter, 5 more, and the next letter, 5 more, and the last one, which is the first letter, 5 more. So this will happen. See? It looks pretty cool, but it's kind of hard to see it. Okay, so watch this. At the end, we're gonna see the one letter N. So I want to keep everything there. So last frame is a frame number 75. So the very last letter Y on top, highlight the frame number 75. Hold down the Shift key. Click on the letter A and insert the keyframe. I'll do the same thing. Highlight the frame number 75 on letter O layer, hold down the Shift key, and click on the very bottom layer and insert the keyframe. And watch this. Play. Isn't it cool? Yeah, it's pretty nice. Now next thing is I want to have a number, the year thing, since 1942. I'm going to move it to 75, and then on 3-second mark, insert the keyframe. Then hold down the Control or right click somewhere in between, anywhere, and create classic twin. On the bottom layer, the first keyframe, this one, I'm going to move it to the bottom a little bit, not too much. And then let me change. Click on the since 1942 letters, and then alpha value. So this will happen. Okay. But on the 1942, it happens after the my all letters and the wings. So I want to keep it. So I highlight the frame number 90, which is 3-second mark, and then hold down the Shift key, click on the bottom layer, insert the keyframe. So this will happen. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay. So this happens. It's pretty nice. Okay, then let's do this. Once it is done, I want to make it slightly smaller. So what I'm going to do is, on 3-second mark, select everything. On 3-second mark. Let me copy this. Copy. And then let me create a new layer on frame number 90, which is 3-second mark. Let me insert just the keyframe, which is, there's nothing yet. And then I'm going to paste in place. Same spot. Okay, so from here, let me highlight 4-second mark and insert keyframe. Then hold down the Control key, click somewhere in between or right click and create classic twin. See that? You have to see this kind of hairline and then an arrow. On frame number 120, which is a 4-second mark, I'm going to make it slightly smaller. So let me choose my free transform tool, hold down the Shift key. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, maybe about that size. Okay. So let's see what happens. Play. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay, now on 4-second mark, I'm gonna select this whole thing. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to File, Export this the logo as an image. I'm going to export it as a pink 24 and by keeping the transparency background. So please check this box and let me save it. And let me save into my folder. I'm gonna save as logo underscore trans and PNG file created. And then let me open that file in Photoshop. See? And then I'm gonna apply the layer style. So open layer style. You can try anything. I'm gonna try this kind of metal texture. It's one of my favorite. Pattern overlay, I'm gonna change a little bit. Snap to origin. So it looks good. Okay. Or let me try something else. I think I like this one better. Pattern overlay. Yep, I like it. And okay. Alright. Then let me save this file again. This time export for web as a ping 24. Save it. I'm gonna save as the logo trans underscore style. Okay, now we are ready. And then let me go back to my my animate file. What I'm gonna do is, after my logo settled down into this size, I want to have that kind of a texture, the styled logo right up here. So I'm gonna kind of fade in and out things. So first the thing is I'm gonna have a one more 5 second. So frame number 150. Insert the keyframe. Okay, and then hold on the Control or right click, click somewhere in between, then create classic twin. So leave it as it is for now. Now let me insert a new layer on top. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my layer style, the kind of meta texture thing on 4-second mark there. Insert the keyframe first. Okay. Then let me import to stage that style.png file. Place it right on top. Okay. Now highlight the frame number 5-second mark, 150. Insert the keyframe. Hold down the Control key. Click somewhere in between. Classic twin. So now what I'm gonna do is let me hide the top layer for now. So this bottom layer, what I'm gonna do is at the end 150, let me click on my Aviation Academy logo. Click on that logo image on your stage directly. Let me change the alpha value down to 0. So it is kind of fading out. At the same time, let me make my top layer visible. It's gonna be kind of opposite. So on top, first keyframe of this, the meta texture one, click on the image, alpha value down to 0. So it is gonna be like that. It's cool, isn't it? Let me rewind it and see what happens. Okay, looks pretty cool. But what I want to do is I want to keep it stay about kind of I don't know, 3 more seconds, so people have enough time to read it. So the entire thing is a 5-second animation. So I'm going to insert maybe 3 more seconds. So 5-second mark, no, I mean the 8-second mark on top, and let me insert the keyframe. So this happens. And staying 3 more seconds. So it looks pretty good. But in order to overlay this video on my another existing video footage, this white background will go together and it will block my existing video on the background. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the green screen effect. So select your movie, click somewhere, and you have the stage color. In here, please choose any kind of green, maybe something like this green. Okay, now let me save this file. I'm gonna save as logo underscore animation, and let me export it as an MP4 video file. Go to File, Export, Video and Media. I'm gonna keep the same size, entire movie, H.264, and then YouTube 720 HD, the high definition video file, and then output is gonna be the same folder. Okay, so it looks good. So it will be saved as the logo underscore anime.mp4. Save it. Make sure you check Adobe Media Encoder box. So make sure that your media encoder is open already, and export it. Okay, so let me check my folder. So here I have see, logo animation 2.mp4. Let me see how it works. Okay, so it looks pretty good. Okay, now let's open Adobe Premiere Pro, and then let me create a new project. Okay, location is gonna be my folder. Choose it, and I'm gonna name it as aviation underscore academy created. Okay, now let me import my file. I'm gonna import the first one, the logo animation with the green screen thing. Let me place it here. You have this as we designed, so it looks good. Now let me import another kind of background video footage. That's you download it, which is flying.mp4. Import it. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to move this to video file onto the video number 2 channel, and then I'm gonna have this here. So it looks good. And then what I want to do is I want to have this the logo animation start somewhere at 2-second mark. So I'm gonna move it to here, 2 seconds, somewhere there. Okay. Okay, the problem is this green screen blocks my background footage. So what I'm gonna do is select your logo animation with the green screen, select it, and then in your video effect this search window, please search Ultra key. You see that? Ultra key, and double click, or you can just drag it to this segment. Then this Ultra key option is added to an effect controls panel on your left. You see the key color, choose the eyedropper, click on this green. See? It's a magic. Watch. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Okay. So, I want to crop my video footage here, and then let me choose my razor tool, cut the background image, the video footage, and selection tool, select and delete it. And that's it. Let me rewind it, play again. That's pretty cool. Okay, so once it is done, I want to export it as an MP4 file. So go to File, Export Media. Green screen, I'm going to re-export it as Aviation Academy, so AA. Let me make it simple. Save it, and then preset high quality 720 HD, H.264, and export it. It's gonna be done pretty quick. Okay, so almost there. And let me see what I have. AA.mp4. That's the file I need. Full screen. Let me play it. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Let me play again. Okay, so this is the how we can combine Adobe Animate file with the existing video footage using the green screen effect. So I hope you enjoy this video and that you can use it for your future design project. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.